One power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power.
Good morning. Such is the nature of life that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. You are that opportunity, and so am I, and so it is. Welcome, everyone, to CSL Midtown, coming to you this morning from Atlanta, Georgia. We are so pleased that you have joined us today. We welcome you. We welcome all people, no matter who you are or where you are in your life. We welcome you whether you're listening online live right now or whether you're listening to our recording. Our center is a reflection of the beautiful diversity of life everywhere. So we welcome you. Whatever brought you here today, know that you are in the right place. This is the right time for you to be here. You are welcome to participate here today and to become a part of this community. And we're hoping that those of you who are watching our broadcast on a social media platform will like and share this with your friends. For a better understanding of who we are and what we teach, let's listen now to our Declaration of Principles. It's written by our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes.
A few of the Declaration of Principles we live by.
I believe in one God, one absolute power, and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life, and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding.
I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
So grateful,
All right. Well, my name is Judy, Aehle, and I'm the moderator and the practitioner for today's service. And today we are continuing our monthly theme of radical interconnection. And this week's topic is ripples, the art of mindful living. In a recent article in the New York Times that caught my attention this past week, it was basically a report card on well-being in the United States. You know, the American economy has grown faster than every other high-income economy over the past few decades, even with the pandemic. But by many other measures, our well-being, especially health and happiness, the United States right here, fares worse than many other rich countries and has fallen even further behind since the 1990s. As you might guess, the United States has outperformed in productive might and innovation, but it has not led to rapidly rising living standards for most Americans. The study concludes many things, but one that jumped out at me is we are so wealthy, but so unhappy. We have been focused on economic growth at the cost of being less focused on happiness and well-being. And that happiness and well-being are tied less to economic conditions than people might assume. Well, you might be thinking, well, none of this is surprising to me. Or you might be thinking, what does any of this have to do with religious science or this teaching? Or you might be thinking, of course, having lots of money is great. I actually need lots, more to be really happy. As someone who's been studying this teaching for many years, I would definitely agree that having wealth and great prosperity is a good thing. In fact, Here, we believe that money is God in action. So money is a good thing. But the question we are asking ourselves today is, when do we know that we are enough? And here we're talking about the art of mindful living. I love the idea that having a life that is lived mindfully is an art. What are our values? Do we live intentionally, knowing that we can choose to embrace the idea that we are enough? Do we know that we can choose well-being? What do you think you need to be content and happy? A certain car, certain relationship, a certain level in your bank account? What's on your list? How attached to this list are you? But where does true mindfulness and well-being come from? I think it rests in knowing that we are whole and complete just the way we are. Back of our unhappiness is the thought that we are not enough, that there is not enough, and not enough good, not enough love, not enough money, not enough health, not enough peace. But in this teaching, we know that we are immersed in an infinite supply of every good thing. There are no shortages. Let's get in the habit of choosing to live mindfully. We want stuff that we think will make us happy. We seek things outside ourselves. But the truth is that these outside things cannot be that which fills us and fulfills us. Living mindfully starts with listening to ourselves, listening to our heart of hearts, and even to our bodies. What are the messages that we are getting there? Are we paying attention to this intuitive knowing, to our heart of hearts? This to me is a definite clue to living and choosing to be immersed in well-being and to find that artful way of living mindfully. I will close this part in a quote that spoke volumes to me, and it's from Ernest Holmes. And this is what he says: "Talk to yourself, not to the world. There is no one to talk to but yourself, for all experience takes place within. Conditions, or your life, are the reflections of our self-talk, reflections of our meditations, our inner talk, and nothing else." So I would ask you today to think about how you are talking to yourself. What are you creating in your own mind? This is what you experience in the world. And I will also add that even physicians in the area of neurology are saying that we create in our own mind what we experience in our bodies and in the world. So I'm going to transition now from these thoughts into leading us in a spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer. And after I finish that, we'll have some music for reflection. So this morning, if you'll just allow yourselves to relax and become quiet and comfortable with wherever you are seated or lounging back, relaxed, whatever that is, and take a couple of nice, slow, deep breaths to know that as we do this, that we realize and we recognize that this presence, this power, this life, this field of energy that we live in is all that there is. And that it is one and whole and complete in itself, and that it is a power for good. It is a power of vibrant health. It is a power of endless opportunities. It is a power of love. It is a power of wealth and opulence. It is a power of peace, of joy, of happiness, and fulfillment. This is this presence. And it is only desiring to express through us. And I know that I am, and that each one of us here listening to this right now is one with this presence, one with this power, one with this goodness, that we are never separated from it, no matter what the appearance may be. And so that because of our oneness and our recognition of it, we now can take our moments to know the truth about ourselves, to state what we desire in our life. So I know for myself, and I know for those listening, I know that the truth of me is absolute, perfect, and vibrant health in every single way, down to the most minute, microscopic, multicellular level, in every organ, every cell, every joint, every muscle, every capillary, every artery, every vein, every part of me is absolutely functioning with perfect, vibrant health. That I am clear that this is my natural state of being, and I let all else fall away. I know that the truth of me is that I live in a world of endless opportunity, of great love, of opulence and abundance, of peace, of love, and that there are opportunities all around me to express this goodness in the world, and that I see those opportunities and I take those opportunities. I also know that I treat myself well, that I take time for self-care and self-love and self-nourishment. And that as I do these things, that I know that my body and my life and my world reflects that as peace, as ease, as a life that is fully lived and meaningful. So I just turn away from any idea of struggle and strain. I turn away from any idea of lack or limitation or of not having enough or of not being enough. I turn away from all of that, and instead I embrace and know that absolutely all is well. All is well in my life in every way. And that as I open up to these principles in the world, these principles, these spiritual principles of how the world really works, that I embrace them, I understand them at a deeper and more clear level, and that I am able to work these principles in my life, put them into practice, and that my life reflects back to me a life that is good in every way. So I'm just grateful for being here this morning. I'm grateful for knowing these truths, and I release this treatment now, absolutely knowing that it is so, and so it is.
Living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. Whoa! One life living is you and me. One light shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One life shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out. I'm so happy. I just want to shout. Woo! One life living is you and me. One life shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One life shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. One life, one light, one love. One life, one light, one love. One life, one light, one love. Alright, alright, alright. One life, one light, one love. One life, one light, one love. One life, one light, one love. We're all shining. We're all shining from the inside out. So hey, you know you make me want to shout. One life living is you and me. One life shining is you and me. One love loving is you and me. Cause God is all there is. One life living is you and me. One life shining is 'cause God is all there is.
All right. Wow, that was nice. I love him. Oh my God. Anyway, we want to welcome back to our center this morning Reverend Dr. Alma Stevens. She goes back to her spiritual journey beginning in the 1960s, which doesn't seem that long ago to me, but it was a long time ago, right? She became ordained as the Centers for Spiritual Living minister in 1982, and she was the senior minister at the Inner Light Center for Spiritual Living until she retired in 2017. But she's still very active in our movement. She's the author of many affirmative prayer books and other books too related to our teaching. Her latest book is Heal Your Mind and Your Body Will Heal. Welcome back to our center, Reverend Dr. Alma Stevens. So good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my privilege to be here. Good morning, all. After listening to Julia's spiritual mind treatment and her introduction, she tapped on so many of the ideas that I wanted to share this morning. I said, well, I might as well just ask that we just sit here and just be quiet, because she did a very good job in the introduction of living mindfully. And thank you. Our theme, radical interconnectedness. And I'd like to say that I like to stay with the theme, or the theme goes group consciousness. So if anyone in the group is not feeling well, and they simply think about someone in the group or think of the group, that energy is transformed to them and they can move just a little faster. That's the purpose of groups. So our theme, radical interconnectedness, is shared in our topic, the art of mindful living. As religious scientists, we have a tendency to focus too much on the science of mind and not the living, as it is as much of an art as a science. Webster defines art as human creativity. Every moment we are creating, and we never create in a vacuum. Every moment we are co-creating with all beings alike, not as well as all who have ever, not as well as all those who have ever lived. And every moment we are weaving and are woven into a greater tapestry of inner being. Our theme for the month serves as a reminder of our responsibility as light workers to stay conscious, to stay alert, aware and awake of our consciousness is needed now more than ever in human history. It is a reminder of who we are as co-creators of the universe. It is a reminder for us to be still and know. Mindful living is a way of life, to live in the state of love. I share a story told of a young Buddhist scholar who selected vegetable gardening as a mindful practice. He said to his teacher, I enjoy growing lettuce, tomatoes, and other vegetables, and I like to spend time gardening every day. So his teacher said, well, you should spend your time writing poems. Your poems are so beautiful. Everyone can grow lettuce and tomatoes, but not everyone can write poems like you do. He said, If I do not grow lettuce, I cannot write poems. When I take care of the lettuce, of watering the garden, of digging in the earth, I do not think of poetry or writing. I focus my mind entirely on taking care of the lettuce, watering the vegetables, and so on. I enjoy every moment and do it in a mode of thinking. The clue to the story is it is very helpful to stop the thinking. Your art is conceived in the depths of your consciousness while you are not thinking about it. Many times, our thinking gets in the way. Page 496, second paragraph of the textbook reads, and I quote, "We have the mind of Christ in such degree as we trust implicitly in the universe and no longer do those things which contradict the fundamental goodness. From the mind proceeds the perfect law, which is the law of liberty, the law of love." It is the end of the quote. Living mindfully allows us to live within the law of love. For we are told now the only energy that is coming to the earth is the energy of love. And we are now being called as conscious beings to participate in the transformation of our world, to understand our interconnectedness with all life. And we first have to understand how we are interacting with all that is as a personal experience. When I read this in the textbook some 65 years ago, I did not understand it. I did not understand that simply repeating the same words over and over, that it would make a difference. So my heart just led me to say, I am one with all life. And I said, I am one with all life. And I don't know how long I said it. I said it until I felt differently, until it left me. And I soon moved to other concepts and continued my affirmation. The power is in words. Use the highest words to live artfully, and being aware is the key. Once we embrace that idea, we can begin looking at the ways in which we believe we are enough. Embracing our divine enoughness allows us to live in contentment, knowing we are always sourced and supplied by the universal cosmic isness. Dr. Holmes wrote, we should daily train our thoughts to recognize the spirit in everything we do, say, or think. Constant realization of the presence of spirit will provide a sense of divine companionship that no other attitudes could produce. Why should we not take the highest and best? God is, and we should realize this truth and make use of it. And that's written page 182 in the Science of Mind textbook, paragraph 6. Living is an art that must be cultivated in order to realize our connectiveness. We've been given the tools of affirmation to help keep us grounded and balanced in our desire to live life artfully. And this work, if it is deep enough, will cause us to rub up against our own biases and beliefs that keeps us separate and keeps us from contentment. Becoming aware of those biases and hidden beliefs is how we begin the process of transforming them, and in turn, transforming the world. And there is no better time than now to do so. Dr. Holmes wrote in this thing called You, it is certain you will have to love yourself first, and then your fellow humans, if you wish to be happy. Your union with God implies your union with everything. Do not be afraid of this. Do not shun the thought of it. Divine union means union with everything. And I looked at this sentence. He said, don't be afraid of it. Do not be afraid of it, of this. And then I thought about, according to history, at the turn of the century when this book was written, many humans were afraid of each other because we all looked differently. We were evolving as human beings, and we did not all evolve at the same rate. So it was necessary to write the book in terms of the mass consciousness at the time. Understanding that the Science of Mind was written 100 years ago with a different mindset of people who are now the same people helped me to understand much of his writings. Page 235, fifth paragraph, and I read, we have learned that there is only one substance out of which everything is made: cabbages and kings, hands and houses, money and men. Consequently, any wrong condition in the human body is made from exactly the same substance from which the more perfect form is created. That's the end of quote. I defined the word substance. 100 years ago, could not, the word substance, or the word energy, if you will, was substituted for substance. 100 years ago, we were not ready, or our minds were not ready for the transformation of consciousness to energy. Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And so we look to the history of the evolving human being to understand this message to us. And I understand this quote to mean that since words have power, and words are the way, are the means, ways words are the words are the way we communicate. The highest words vibrate to create the art of living artfully. So we ask, as a first concept, what is your intention in living artfully? What do you intend when you take each action? What do you expect to happen as a result of your action? Think about it. For your intention sets the foundation for what you will receive. I'll say that again. Your intention sets the foundation for that which you will receive. And a second concept for the art of living artfully is contentment. How content are you? Are you so content to the place that whatever comes up, there is no thought about it? You are simply going with the flow, as we say in religious science. I'm simply going with the flow. Contentment is a state of mind that brings in the art of living. For we accept that which we are. We accept and know that everything is in divine order. Everything is perfect, whole, and complete. You know, we say this as religious scientists. Oh, everything is in divine order. Do we really believe that everything is in divine order? I see just a little bit of discontentment when we are moved to say those words. For then, to me, that means that we simply need to practice. And religious science is a practice. We were told many years ago by a giant, or as I call it in religious science. Religious science is a do-it-yourself religion, and you do have to do it yourself. After these many years, 65 years of continuing practice of religious science, I've found that I do have to do it myself. And when I set my intention to rise above all fears, all doubts, all anger, then from the highest point of my mind comes just simple words for me to speak, for me to hold on to. And I usually reach for the word love. And that's when I find, yes, much contentment in just simply saying the words, I love myself. In closing, if we can remember just two things that we've shared this morning, the art of living artfully. And that is to remember that our intention sets the foundation for our demonstration. Remember, that brings us into that state of contentment. And let us pray. Giving thanks for each individual message and welcoming everyone to this banquet to be fed, to move through any and all events, conditions, and situations that arise in our life and in the world, as we are light workers and we remember who we are. We remember and know that we are perfect. We are enough. We have enough. And that we are the ones that we are looking for. And as you go out into the marketplace this week, the love, the light, the encouragement, the empowerment that you received and within this hour goes before you in the form of the highest energy, making your way perfectly clear. Until we meet again, God goes with you. And so it is. So we let it be.
Thank you for your message, Reverend Dr. Alma, and the
My
treatment.
privilege. My privilege.
All right.
Thank you.
Very glad to have you. All right. Vance is out of town this week, so you have me to say that now we come to the time in our service where we can have the opportunity to give back to our spiritual community. If this is where you get your spiritual nourishment, please consider supporting us in a way that feels right for you. Some people say give till it hurts, but here we say give until it feels good. Please join me for our affirmation for prosperity that's on the screen right there. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me, multiplied abundantly, and so it is. There's our website, the QR code there. So we hope that you'll take a moment to give back to our community. We have a few announcements. First, just thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, if you liked what you heard, to share our link for this service on social media. That's always just a great thing to do. Every Sunday at 10 a.m., we have our adult study group that meets on Zoom. You can find that link on our website, cslmidtown.org. Our group is currently studying the Science of Mind textbook, so feel free to join us any Sunday. CSL Midtown is pleased to be able to continue providing our community with excellent speakers from all over the country. We have really enjoyed hearing these varied messages and look forward to more of these high quality speakers. We hope that you will help spread the news about our speakers and our Sunday programs to your friends and your family. And our speaker next Sunday is Reverend Robert Brzezinski. He's the guru of the New Thought Media Network that we broadcast on every Sunday. His talk title will be Letting Go, a New Way of Being Together. I also want to announce that our annual congregational meeting will be held on March the 2nd after our in-person service. We meet in person at the Garden Hills Rec Center the first Sunday of every month. So I hope you will consider attending. Also, our center is preparing to participate in the co-creation process. And this process will begin with a congregational workshop, which will be held on Saturday, March the 22nd. This will be an online session, so please mark your calendar and plan to attend. That's March 22nd. We will have more details in the coming weeks. If you are a person who's wondering if we will ever have a senior minister for CSL Midtown, we are moving forward with this goal, and that there are many steps to getting there, but that we are in the process. And the co-creative process that we're participating in later in March is a huge step for our center to take to begin that vision of having a full-time minister for our center. I also, on a sad note, some of you may remember Leslie Gagne, or I guess she's Leslie Byers now, former wife of Paul Gagne of this center. She made her transition this week on Thursday. She was a very dear friend of mine, and some people listening may remember her. I just wanted to let people know about that. That's all the announcements. Please join us on the Zoom link after the service for a discussion with Reverend Dr. Alma Stevens. The link is found at cslmidtown.org. And we hope to see you there. So that concludes our service. Please join me now in the closing affirmation. Okay, can you make that bigger? Yes. Thank you. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding and I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me. And so it is. Thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at the discussion right now on the Zoom link. And next Sunday, see you then. Bye.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all that I have. Hey! Oh yeah. Grateful. I just say I am so grateful every day for all I have. Every day. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for all I have. Every day I say it. Grateful. How I'm grateful. Every day. Oh yeah. I am so grateful. Oh yeah. I'm so grateful. 'Cause I accept and I receive. I am so grateful. Oh yes, I am. I am. I am. So grateful, yeah. Grateful. I just count my blessings. Grateful. I just count.
There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you